Thank you. How is the sound out there? Pretty good? Whoa. Any? Back up a little bit. So of course there's a legal disclaimer which none of you are going to read, I'm sure. First of all, my name is Jon Bey. I am the chairman, CEO of Standard Uranium. We started this company back in 2017, so we've been around for 8 years now. Today we're going to tell you about the company, tell you about the opportunities in front of us and what our plans are for this fall and for 2026. What you're looking at right now is a map of the Athabasca Basin. So that is in Saskatchewan in Canada. That is actually probably the best place on earth for high-grade uranium deposits. On that map you see all those circles. Those are our 13 projects. In the southwest corner is our flagship, the Davidson River Project, and I'll be telling you a bit about that. On top of being a uranium exploration company in Canada, we're also a project generator. Now for you, some of you may not know what that means, but we actually stake projects and then we get partner companies to come join us and pay for the work on those projects. And I'll talk to you about 3 of those projects happening right now. That actually brings in cash and shares and operator fees to our company, which helps us less dilution. So we have cash flow coming in for junior exploration. It's pretty awesome. So to make those things happen, there's some key things you've got to have going for you in Canada and Saskatchewan, and for any project generator. First of all, you want to have good projects. The Athabasca Basin is a wonderful place. Not all of it's great. There's a lot of moose pasture areas, but there's some phenomenal places for projects. So we've staked those over the last 7 or 8 years. Typically what we do is we stake that land ourselves. Our geologists stake it for fairly cheap. We'll spend about 1.5 to 2 years advancing that, doing geophysical work, some groundwork, and getting those ready for JV opportunities. After we've done that, we'll sign First Nations agreements. We'll get all the operators in place. Our team of 4 or 5 geologists in-house will actually operate the project, and we'll line up all the vendors, the helicopters, the camps, the drillers, and we will set the project for JV. Now, when we do a JV, a company typically comes to us, and they're typically, hopefully, good people, and they've got money. They say, we want to work on one of your projects, so we'll sign a 3-year earn-in deal. They'll pay us cash and shares and pay us to operate that project. And if they make all those payments over 3 years, they can earn 75% of that project, and we keep 25%. And we keep a 2.5% NSR. So that drives cash flow in, allows us to operate the project, control it, and have great opportunity for success for them and for our shareholders as well. So it's a great way to run a company, have cash flow coming in. And for our flagship Davidson River Project, we run that 100% ourselves. So that's the money, whenever we raise capital, it goes towards our Davidson River Project, and I'm going to tell you about why we like that project the most. So what you're looking at now, once again, is a map of the Athabasca Basin, and you can see our projects all around the outside. As many of you probably know, the globe right now is really going into a nuclear renaissance. Most countries outside of Germany are actually really positive on nuclear, so we're seeing nuclear build-outs, small reactors, micro reactors, and large reactors. We really believe that the next 10 to 20 years is going to be another nuclear renaissance where massive amounts of nuclear is going to be built, and that's all going to need uranium. Short-term catalysts. So one of the projects that we did a JV deal on is called our Rocus project. Our geologists are actually on the ground there right now. So right now we've got exploration happening on our Rocus project. We're lining that up for a drill program starting in February and March of 2026. On top of that, we had an exploration program on our Corvo project just recently, and there's going to be news coming out on that next week about some of the exciting things happening there. As we head into the end of 2025, we're lining up for multiple drill programs, 3 at a minimum, possibly 4 drill programs for 2026. We're going to start drilling in January at our Corvo, move over to our Rocus project right after that in mid-February to March, and then we're going to get down to our Davidson River project and be drilling that from the end of May all the way through to August. After that, if things go well with our project at Uranium City, called our Sundog project, we could be drilling that one from August through to October. So it's going to be an exceptional year for exploration and drilling for our company. So our team, myself in the top right there, I founded the company in 2017. I'm the chairman and CEO. I brought on Sean Hilliker, the third person over. He's our president and VP exploration. Sean's a very interesting gentleman. He came to us from a company called NextGen Energy. Some of you may have heard of NextGen. They've got their flagship Arrow project, which sits about 25 kilometers to our east. That is about to be Canada's newest uranium mine and mill. So the government of Canada is most likely going to approve that construction in the next 6 months. and they're going to be building that for the next 3 years, about $1 billion. That's right across the street from our flagship. So there's going to be new highways, new airports, new power. It's going to be a fantastic place to keep your eye on. On top of that, you see Neil McCallum immediately in the middle of us. He's also a 30-year exploration geologist and a lithium geologist. Mike Young in the bottom right there, he's also a uranium geologist. So a team full of geologists, and then the two guys in the bottom left are both corporate bankers and capital markets guys. Zoya is our audit committee. She came to us from Kazakhstan, where she was a CFO of Uranium One. So pretty strong technical team there. And this is a map of the southwest corner of the Athabasca Basin. I mentioned our Davidson River project there, and you can see to the east, Arrow deposit, that's NextGen's Arrow. That is probably, one of the greatest uranium projects on Earth that's not a mine yet, and it's soon to be one. Just to the west of that is a Triple R. That's in the hands of a company called Paladin. They took out fission uranium a few years ago. Between those two companies, there's about 400 million pounds of uranium in the ground right now. That'll be, mined hopefully in the next number of years. Our job at Standard Uranium is to go over to our Davidson River and make another discovery. And we believe it has the potential for one or multiple discoveries on that project. It's a massive project. This is a map showing the rocks. You can see the magnetics here. Our theory is the rocks on the western side are going to have the same potential as the rocks on the eastern side. So our geologists have spent the last few years doing geophysics, doing some drill programs, doing some other exploration work that's going to help us identify our next drill program, which is going to start in this summer. So this is some pictures of some of the rock core for some of you that like looking at core. What's exciting about this is the dark black rocks. That is the graphitic corridors. We know that's really important because if you're going to have uranium, basement-hosted uranium in this part of the world, it's going to be associated with these graphitic corridors. So we drilled into our project from 2020 all the way to 2022, and one of the key things was to really prove that we were in the same rocks